I am joined by Dr. Kevin Reed, Chief Climate Scientist and Director of the New York Climate Exchange. As a trailblazer in climate science, Dr. Reed is driving innovative research and fostering community engagement to create sustainable solutions for combating climate change. Dr. Reed, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So, what are the most exciting developments you see happening in climate science?
I think it's about building partnerships, right, across whether it's working with communities, working with industry, but really building partnerships around how to not only understand climate change, but to develop the solutions that we need for the coming decades.
Absolutely. So why is centering ethics so critical for policy, research, and funding in climate science?
Well, I think it, again, starts with partnerships, right? When you're starting to connect different groups, whether it be community groups or industry, or other stakeholders, it's really critical to come into those discussions and to come into that co-development of solutions and ideas, right, with a shared understanding, a shared set of principles, and that's where the ethics really come in.
Absolutely. And how do you balance the promise of solutions in climate science with the unknown?
Well, the unknown part is that the climate's continuing to change, right? So if we're planning for the extreme events, for example, that we've been facing over the last few years, we have to really start to plan with the fact that those are also going to be changing in the future. And so you can build that kind of unpredictability or that uncertainty, right, as we typically call it, into the solution space, so that when you develop a solution or you think about a problem, you understand that there's a range of potential outcomes. So if what you've planned for the next event isn't as bad, you could think, oh, we over-engineered. But actually you were prepared and you were successful. And I think a lot of it comes down to really how you discuss the actual solutions that you need.
And AGU 24's theme for this year is what's next for science. So what's your next in science? What at this meeting are you most looking forward to?
Yeah, what I'm most looking forward to is actually how we build those partnerships, right? So we can talk about building partnerships as a pathway for developing solutions and using science to inform solutions. But really looking at how we build those partnerships, what are the kind of long-term aspirations we have, what are folks already doing that we can learn from so we can help to scale, but also how do we just continue to build the networks and relationships that we need to really be successful in science.
Yeah. And speaking of building relationships, AGU's annual meeting is really powerful in terms of convening the scientific community. So how does AGU's annual meeting drive sustainable solutions to climate change?
27,000-ish people, right, at the same place. The power of convening really comes through. And it's what I'm looking forward to and what I really use this meeting for in my own work is making those new connections, continuing to build on the previous relationships I have, whether that's with colleagues that I have projects with, or whether that's friends, right, from graduate school, and really build those relationships through the meeting to kind of think about, what are the things that we want to be doing in the next year, the next 2 years, that really not only advance our science, but advance the use of science for society.
So given your role as Chief Climate Scientist at the New York Climate Exchange, how do you think community engagement helps advance climate solutions?
Well, community engagement, I would say, is paramount. It's actually where everything must start. At the New York Climate Exchange, we're focused on co-developing the solutions that we develop and the research we do directly with our community partners. The idea is that when we've developed a solution in collaboration with community partners, that it'll be a solution that not only have they helped shape, but they're going to be willing to use, right? Too many times, I think what happens when academics and industry develop solutions for communities and they do it without community engagement, you end up with solutions that the communities just don't want to use. Maybe it's not in their culture to use, and the importance of really working with them to not only understand the problem, but actually develop the solutions that you're looking to deploy.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for sharing this insight today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.